Hi, this is IK. Welcome to Everything is the Same, Just Different. From PHP to React, Part 8. This is index.js, entry point in JavaScript in React application. You see, there is more import than our code. And it is first connection with what confused us. Because here we declare container. Okay, constant is here new. It is don't exist in JavaScript 5. It exists only in JavaScript 6 and after. And we used in JavaScript 5, we have variable var container equal, and it was something key base for manipulation document object model. That construction var container equal document dot get element by ID, and parameter of that method is root document. It is index.html, and ID root there is a div HTML element in index.html. Document is index.html. And here it means that variable container equal div element in index.html. It means that all JavaScript, all React production, all React, I said, okay, production would be seen through div element ID root. But now look at here, declaring root variable, constant root, equal create root. That create root, it is function what we import from package React DOM client. And parameter of that function is container. Object root equal function create root parameter container. And it is very, very confused in the beginning because here you call, it is a calling function. When this syntax is calling function, it means constant root equal calling function create a root with parameter container calls, and calling that function execute. But what execute? We don't know. It is declarative programming. Because create a root function coming from React DOM client. We don't know code of React DOM client. We don't see create root function in that React DOM client, but we use it, create root, and take container from our declaration of this row. It is beginning, it is entry point, index.js, and I was very, very confused in my beginning. Because I used to, in PHP, I create all from blank page. What create? Class, and declare function method of that class, members, properties of that class, type of class, private, public, etc. And after that, I use that class, create object. A class is one abstraction. in programming, object is a real runtime element. And but here we constant root equal create root in container. Now, after a lot of experience and but a lot of discussion with artificial intelligence, I know, and it is absolutely clear that create root function create key base React application, and we have import React from React package, and we have import create root from React DOM client. Here, in this two row, we declare key base React application. It is root. And we clear said that basically that React application will execute would be abstraction, which result we see through a div element ID root. Very, very clear to said us, but very clear, very concise, said what we want. We want abstract our React application, and the product of that abstraction see through div element named root in index.html. It is our goal, target, but how to go to that goal, uh, how get that goal, I don't see in this code. We only write what we want. We want React to see through a div element ID root. And how it would be realized, don't worry, it is not our worry. And all is coding in import. Again, we have import provider from React Redux. React Redux package is important for connection React and Redux, all element what we need for connect and cooperate React and Redux. React is separate program, Redux is separate program. Separate team develop that program in Meta, former Facebook. And look at here, now when we know that root is React application, key base, it is not surprise for us that React application, there is a render method. But we don't see root, class of root, or function inside of root and the name of that. No, we see in original documentation about React that root declare here there is a method render, and we use root.render. It means start in that moment, start execution of our React components, concretely topic component app. Here it is. But look at provider. Provider, a wrap, it is around start tag and end tag. Provider wrap our key base keybase component in our React application, in every React application. It is app.js component. Script like this means calls. App is function. Component is all component here is function. And we call function like this. It is, we call this React element. React element, it is object. And React element is like HTML element, but start with capital letters, but HTML elements start with small case. And provider, what is provider? Provider coming from a React Redux package we see now. But we don't know nothing about code of provider, nothing. It means it is declaration. It is not my understanding. It is my declaration because I see that in original documentation for a React. I see that I must have here, right here, provider with the props store equal in curly bracket store. It is one code what we inside of what we code also. And here it is closed tag provider. I see it, and inside of that we have up our keybase. If we don't use Redux, if we use only React, I would be deleted. And something like this, we have only React without Redux. Okay. And again, I don't see code of provider. I don't see, I don't know nothing about, but I know that writing this here, I must write if I want connection, cooperation between React and Redux. I want it, and I code it. And if you, and it means that here is React keybase component of React, and here is a connection with Redux, and concretely store would be a realization of all architecture. Redux is architecture, and store is execution of store means construction, complete, define, and execute architecture of Redux. And with that provider here, it means all connection with React. And this provider is from React Redux. Provider play a big role in that connection, and store played biggest role in construction complete architecture of Redux. It means main object in Redux is a store. Inside that store, we have a reducer. And reducer. And all that reducer is create store, and reducer is create here. Also, there is also in that store code, there is import, etc. What we see later in some other video, and we saw that in previous video. And here it is up a topic component, key-based component in React application. React application. Okay, but the accent in this story, in this video, is that I don't know nothing about provider. I know that is because syntax, I see syntax, it is a React element. But component, code of component provider, I don't know. And here is open tag, here is a close tag, and it is declarative programming. Again, I know that I need connect React and Redux. And I know from original documentation that I must import provider from React Redux, of course, before I must install React Redux package. npm I and React Redux, it will be installed in our application, that package. And I need that I must write provider here, that I must up here, that I must provide it. And I ask you, what is mine idea? What is mine creativity here in coding this side? Because all that uh, I must code by hand, or if I start by MPX program, I have a lot of that finished automatically, but I must provide, use that and that if I want React and Redux cooperation. But never mind what I write, what coming me without my coding by import. Important is that I don't know nothing about background of this code. I know what I know. I know my goal. I know what I want. And what I want. I want a React application connected with Redux architecture. Redux is state manager and global state manager. And it's all. I want it. And if I want it, I must write this code, what you see here. And now I don't worry about background. I don't worry about provider. And if I'll better see, longer see in that code, I see that it's something excellent because I don't code all background what code for me React library. It is excellent because in PHP, when we code from blank page, what we code class, and in that class we declare properties, declare method, declare private, public, etc. Class of class, and it is abstraction. We use it in the program with keyword new and create object. It is class is like diagram in of building in future, but only build when we finish the house. It is object, and all what we write on the paper, it is abstraction. It was same in object oriented, but we must a lot of class in big application. There is a lot of object, and every object we must declare a class, coding class. It is a lot of boilerplate. Lot of copy paste and but or use our template, etc., etc. Here, nothing. What can be boilerplate or repeating or coding? What we without what we can go ahead, we go ahead. All that go in background. Okay, this is index.js entry point in our React Redux application. Because I must write something by my memory. I must memorize because I don't know nothing about background. It is only some memorizing in my head, but uh, it is simple to memorize. It is not hard to memorize because write only what you want to be, not how to be. It is declarative programming. Declarative programming, JavaScript can be programmed in procedural, object-oriented, imperative programming, declarative programming. But here in React, Redux, in this JavaScript library, is entirely, total declarative. And it must be said first in a book about React, in a video about React, in all courses about React, it must be said first. Don't be uh, uh, don't be confused if you see only something about goals, about the target of your application, and not how we go to that target, how we go to not be visible code, how to go to that goal, how to get that target. Declarative programming. And from now on, every documents, every component, every configuration file like store, like index.js, like post slice, configuration file of reducer, all that is declarative, complete declarative, and we must understand what we want. Don't worry about how it would behind scene, and you will like React because you always know what you want. It is base, it is key base of every programming, and you code only what you want. You don't call how to go to that goal. Excellent. I very like React, Redux. And I use Redux always in that small application. Use Redux only that I have a routine in using Redux, in coding React Redux. And I recommend it to you because when we work only on React, and sometimes on learning Redux would be very, at first, meet with Redux, it would be very, very complicated. But because nobody said me, take care, it is declarative, nothing clear uh, by glance. It is declarative. You don't see all code, You see only what you want. And uh, mm, I don't think that is important to know. I don't know it, and I go through very, very confused time learning it. But I learned 3 years before 3 years before I finished book Angular. I start with Angular, and after that, 1 year's working with Angular, and after that, 2 years working with React. But I recommend you that you don't hurry. Okay, if you must work something, go to interview, okay, go through that. But uh, better to know now, okay, it is declarative, and learn with understanding. Uh, find explanation for every row and know that explanation, know what you have with that row. I must say that artificial intelligence helped me a lot. Last year is big years in my learning because and that impressive language large, that chat GPT, that communication, and it is like when you some learning, a lot of developers, programmers can be around you, but they don't in phase in what you are, and they don't have cannot help you uh, because all is in different focus, like you are now, and in the future you always would be in other focus, and you are not ready and have not time help somebody, and you can help somebody by school way explain something, and artificial intelligence with that language coming in that part. You ask artificial intelligence, but better, I am experienced programmer, better say teacher about programming, but also I program all application what I need for my school, for my job, and I used to use it years by year. But strictly, I am teacher, professor for programming, and artificial intelligence. Uh, uh, I know what to say. I make statement. I said, this is this is it. And the artificial said, yes, you are correct, and uh, repeat what I said. But if you beginner, you cannot ask, you cannot state something. You must ask, and by that, if you asking, you will receive some information. But I must say you that artificial intelligence is very, very unclear, not good teacher. Explanation is a lot of word, lot of worldly, lot of word. Said you a book about what you ask, you will receive book about that, and it is problem, and I don't know how it is learned like total beginner in programming, how it is learned by help of artificial intelligence. I think impossible. I would like to hear from you in comment if somebody of you is total beginner and learn from artificial. But me, because all what I see, uh, uh, I understand. I understand this declaration of object. I understand that is call of function. But of course, I, uh, uh, I, I see that we import that create root from here function. Uh, but I don't know in this script, don't write, I don't see a root. We can name it how we want, but all use root and I use root. And it is good practice. And I ask, hey, artificial, what is create root? I don't from I see import, but I don't see code of create root, and it is calling of create root, and something else what I see at first when we left have object and right we have function call function object equal call function. I said myself, okay, object here is equal function, but it is functional programming. But uh, when object equal function, object equal call function, object equal return, what return function? Function will return something, and that is object. Function finished, execute finished, and what we have after that, it is object. In this situation, always it is object, and here root it is key base React application, whatever it means, and like that, I always state something to artificial intelligence, and artificial intelligence respond directly to me. Uh, uh, with smaller word, but also with lower word. At first I read all that, but after I didn't read what uh, artificial respond, and copy something in that respond what is interesting, and discuss about that. Contra, always it was my contra, or always it is what it was very confused explanation of artificial intelligence. Uh, okay, in this video I would say you post slides. For example, uh, this is uh, this is the biggest declarative file, with declarative programming, and we call tank function. We dispatch tank function from post list. Post list from post list. Here it is. And you see through my video by video that I come back in some topic like this concretely. But some in previous video, I state that dispatch is synchronized, always synchronized. It means dispatch is post list. This constant statement, this expression, this calling of dispatch function, and the parameter is calling fetch post. Uh, it is on post list. It is component, and because it is on post list, it is synchronized. And Redux dispatch is function is from React Redux package, because dispatch always it is a listener what we do in our component, our interaction with component. Every action dispatch take its action and dispatch its action to store, concretely to reducer. But but and it is always synchronized. But here, when data is outside of synchronized process, somebody must go outside. And I thinking about fetch post. It is tank about function which huh, uh, which go outside, go asynchronous. No, I always think about tank function would have a lot of job. But now I know that I thinking about and fetch post is always that tank is always synchronized because tank can dispatch action and dispatch is synchronized. That action is synchronized. Dispatch action. Here is a dispatch tank. Tank dispatch action. Cannot dispatch if not synchronized because Redux don't understand the asynchronous process. Only synchronized process don't understand. And dispatch must be synchronized. Fetch post must be synchronized because fetch post has argument dispatch and fetch post. And if you look at fetch post, there is no reason that fetch post go outside of synchronous, go in asynchronous process. No, fetch post wrap asynchronous process. Let's go to see that function post slice. Here is, for example, fulfilled. Let's go to see function fetch post. Here it is. Fetch post, tank. But that tank is create asynchronous tank. When execute fetch post, execute create asynchronous tank. And the intention is we need object, action object. And action object we need for a reducer. Action object, there is a payload and action type. Here is a create asynchronous, there is a action type, here it is. And second parameter is asynchronous arrow function. Asynchronous arrow function, and that asynchronous arrow function, there is axios.get request, asynchronous request. And that axios get request go asynchronous. It is asynchronous. And because it here is await. What is await? Await finished asynchronous process. Await asynchronous process. And after asynchronous process finished, we have a response. And for example, if all is okay, tank function middleware produce a word fulfilled and connected with fetch post through fulfilled. And it is a type of action. And response.data, it is asynchronous request return promise object, and promise object return promise object return response data. And if all is okay, in response.data we have a payload. Payload. It means what we have all time: create asynchron tank, our post, fetch post, tank function, stay, it is synchronized. There is no reason be asynchronous. Here, this part of a future object type is also synchronized, but asynchron is only arrow function, and that arrow function have a request. Here is a request, and that request return response, return promise, promise return response.data. What is response.data in that data? It is complete posts from remote mock server. It is array full of posts. And when we finished, we have create asynchron tank function, process finished, and that function have fetch post fulfilled, fetch post fulfilled, action type, and payload. And it is action object, type of action, and payload, action payload. It is two members, two properties of action object. This part fetch post would be taken, and with fulfilled would be created that type of action. And object action in the end, tank function, what is synchronized. And when process finished, tank have action, action object. And the tank activate dispatch, again synchronize. Dispatch method, what dispatch? Dispatch that action, dispatch that action. And that action coming to reducer, and that action properties action type said reducer what to do with payload. Payload is array. Initial state is empty post array, and now concat copy of state, initial state, and payload is post, array post, concat, and we have a new post, state post. It is complete array with all posts inside. Yeah, look at how many times I need 2 years working with React, but step by step, I go very, very slowly. But at first, I didn't thinking. At first, I shallow thinking. I shallow thinking. I don't thinking about background. But when artificial coming, it is all last year, it was excellent thanks to artificial intelligence, because I can analyze all this. This is last look at now. I didn't discuss with artificial about it is about tank as synchronized, but now I try state that tank is synchronized, also synchronized, and you will see what artificial would be displayed. Here I copy this, and copy fetch post this part. And my conclusion, both dispatch and fetch post are synchronized all the time. And I don't want to repeat, you can read all that. It is what I said. Now I write it. And I ask short yes or no, short yes or no. Topic here is dispatch. Tank are always, all the time synchronized. Yes or no? No. No. I ask, how no? Explain. Apologize for the confusion. Let me clarify. And in the provided code snippet, the dispatch function line, dispatches, I will not read, I read it. You read it, you stop video and read it. Completely unclear response. Uh, completely, and I think one sentence, the tank function then executes asynchronously. The tank function then execute asynchronously. It is uh, tank function allow. I okay. Uh, there is somewhere that function, what I copy, trunk function that executes asynchronously, fetching data from API, endpoint, and endpoint, and equal, I write equal, no, trunk function stay synchronized, but asynchron arrow function with Axios get execute asynchronously. I write it. And this moment, something wrong, I must reset and I repeat this question for continuous. But now, get back. Look at here, confusion. Tank function allow for asynchronous logic. In this case, the fetch post tank function makes an asynchronous request using Axios get. Note, tank function makes an asynchronous request. Practically, it is unclear. I want to say tank function stays synchronized, but tank function wrap, there is Axios get, and Axios get is asynchronous request, but not tank function. All what you would read from this artificial intelligence uh, when dispatch fetch post is called, the tank middleware recognizes the fetch post is a tank function and invokes it. The tank function then executes asynchronously. That I was copy. The tank function then executes asynchronous. No, tank function stays synchronized, but only part of that tank function. It is Axios get go asynchronous. We have strictly keyword async in front of arrow function. And async await, it is part what a limit portion code what get asynchronous. Here is the response. You are correct. And apologize for the oversight. Let me clarify. The tang function itself is asynchronous. It is a function that returns another function. However, the inner function returned by the tang function, in this case the asynchron arrow function passed to create asynchron tang, contains asynchronous logic such as fetching data from an API endpoint using Axios Gate. So, to accurately summarize, the tang function is synchronous. The inner function returned by the tang function executes asynchronously, performing tasks such as fetching data from an API endpoint. Thank you for pointing out the distinction. Yeah, it is. It is example how I communicate with artificial artificial intelligence AI. My word is main. In our communication, I lead, and every hour conversation finished like this. And I ask myself, what usefulness from artificial intelligence there is a beginner. If you are one of them, please ask, write your example of your communication with artificial intelligence. Okay, but uh, I will write book, and in that book would be all concises from all this video. And I hope that concise books give beginners uh, uh, how I learn and how is good to learn, to understand and begin. And when you understand, deep understand something, you can uh, uh, affirmative talk with artificial intelligence. Uh, okay, this all for this video. If you know somebody that need video like this, tell them, write in social network, subscribe, like, and if our community grow around my video, all we have would be better for all of us, better for learning, for learning, because every explanation, so my explanation, is only one of the uh, of the 8 billion of people in the world. And with only more explanation can give a good picture, good image of something, of what we learn. Thank you for watching this video.